So today I want to talk about Jun Kazama's journal entry. Even though I do have some criticisms towards the character's story, this is one aspect of the story that I think is absolutely great. So the first page of the journal entry, it basically talks about how her family, her clan, they lived in Yakushima for over 1,000 years as a part of their heritage. Whenever they say something has existed for over 1,000 years, they're basically talking about how this has existed going all the way back to Azazel's time. It talks about how she grew up in isolation and she just felt more comfortable around animals because they have a free heart, free spirit, no negative thoughts or stuff like that. But then eventually says that years later she feels suffocated by the island and she wants to go to Tokyo to study and just kind of like be in the big city environment. At first, the Kazama clan was just a normal like clan, but as the lore get piled onto the Kazama clan, they're turning them from just a normal people into like spiritual, supernatural people. And the fact that she was the only one on this island who lived in isolation, you just have to wonder, where is her other people? And also, can they do the things that she can do? We saw Asuka tap into it a little bit, but you would have to imagine, Jun Kazama's cousin or sister or someone out there could do the same things that she could do, but also maybe not, because she was also considered to be like kind of like the chosen one by her people, right? So maybe her powers is a little bit more prominent than the others, and maybe that's why Asuka can never really do what she does. But also, if that is the case, why would you let your chosen one, your Anakin Skywalker, go off into the middle of the forest and be unprotected or unsurveyed? So then it talks about how she had this vision of her father. He eventually passed away, and this made her want to help more. And since she loves animals, she's like, okay, I should go and help animals. While she was doing that, this is when Kazuya Mishima pops up. He was endangering animals by like smuggling them. This is what's so fascinating about the Mishima Zaibatsu, right? They're such a complex organization, and we don't even know the half of what they do. You have one instance where under Kazuya, they were smuggling animals for who knows what reason. But then also with the Mishima Zaibatsu, they were also like helping Josie. I just like how you get these glimpses of good and bad, and it kind of makes the organization feels more real and not just like a tool of war who shows up to do war and be war. So here's something that I kind of don't like about Tekken. It says that she entered the King of the Iron Fist tournament to bring Kazuya in. And this is what I never understood, right? She works with a government organization. So does Lee. So does many other people. These government organizations doesn't have any power over the Mishima Zaibatsu. You can't reach them. The only way to reach them is to go into the tournament. Even Lydia, right? Lydia had all these issues with Heihachi, and the only way she can try to reach him was by entering the tournament. It's just so fascinating that everyone seems to have to play by the Mishima Zaibatsu's rule. If they really were that powerful and that world dominating, it doesn't make sense for there not to be more attempts on, Kazuya or Heihachi or Jin, right? And think about this, right? I can't get a hold of Kazuya Mishima, so I am going to enter into a tournament with the strongest fighters on the planet to try to get his attention. What? The chances of you making it through the King of the Iron Fist tournament is so slim. You were better off doing like Victor did and just bomb rush the stadium. But let's keep going. So then it really dives deep into her relationship with Kazuya. She sensed this evil energy around him, and she sensed that the guy basically was like truly lonely. He could never be happy. And she kind of related that back to her, being on the island and how she felt. So she wanted to embrace him. She wanted to, as it says, save him from solitude. And they basically grew close. They had a child, and eventually Kazuya died by Heihachi, right? Or he disappeared is what they said. It's interesting because players were under the impression that these two met at a tournament and basically had like a one-night stand. But then the developers changed that to know they had a real relationship, and then they even said that both of them was married. It would make sense why Jun and Kazama cares so much about Kazuya if they did in fact have a real relationship and not just like a one-night stand at a tournament. Then it talks about the moment where the devil invades Jun Kazama's body. She sees this figure that kind of looks like Kazuya but kind of not, and she starts to feel this strange aura overcome her. And this is basically the moment when the devil gene, half of it went into Jin Kazama, right? I don't understand how all of the devil gene carriers naturally have the devil gene, but Kazuya's devil gene felt the need to break in half and then enter in Jin Kazama. And then that strengthened his devil gene and made his devil gene stronger than Kazuya's. So this part is very interesting. It says, I'll read it verbatim. A brilliant light flowed through my body, giving me tremendous strength. With it, I was able to defeat Devil. When the light subsided, my body reverted to normal as if it knew that my task was complete. And then it shows her with these angel wings. These are literally angel's wings. And I wonder if this is hinting at a new form that maybe she will unlock. The fact that they're telling us this means that this is going to show up some way, somehow in the future. Angel is always such a out there type of character, and they can use her in any way they want. Angel has always been like kind of like mirroring Jun Kazama, at least her intentions in a way, but then also it's been like the opposite of Kazuya, the better half of Kazuya. You have the devil, then you have the angel, right? So the fact that they're talking about her body changing to fight off this evil, but then reverting back after the job is done, like that's going to be something that pops up in the future. But then it says she still can't comprehend what happened to her, and you have to wonder, so this is, it says I, right? So this is from the perspective of Jun Kazama, and I wonder, when was this written? Was it during the time of Tekken 8 or was it during the time of like Tekken 3? Because, well, both are kind of the same because she fell asleep immediately after, right? Ogre attacked her. But the point is that did this character have time to learn and understand and practice and maybe try to unlock this ability on command? We saw her show up in Tekken 8 doing a lot of things that blows our mind. We can't comprehend. Is this new thing that she's doing a part of that new discovery, or is it something that she hasn't mastered just yet? They're basically hinting at the Kazamas having an angel form. In fact, we do have Angel Jin. Even though you do have to wonder, can he turn into, because the Angel Jin looks like a modified version of the Devil Gene. So if the Devil Gene isn't there entirely, can he still go Angel form? If he does it look different? But also, can Jun Kazama do it? So there's a lot of different questions here. There's a lot of different ideas that Tekken 8 just threw out at us, and we'll have to see if this stuff carries over into the next Tekken, and if it's really realized just how it works, right? We got to see if the angel form really is a counter to the devil, and if so, when did this start? When did the Kazamas, because even though it's the Mishimas who have the bloodline now, it was the Hachijos, right? The Hachijos was the Devil Gene carriers, and then, it changed when Kazumi got with Heihachi, and then Kazuya Mishima, and then all the Hachijos died. So we have to see how that rivalry or that duality started, and where does it go from here.